Imagine being accused of a crime you didn't commit. Imagine being branded a criminal simply because of the color of your skin. Today's story will shake you to your core. A young black teen labeled as a criminal by a powerful officer, but when the truth comes out, it doesn't just shock the community, it stuns the entire nation. Stay tuned because you will not see this twist coming. And before we begin, make sure you subscribe to Wealth and Wounds, the channel that uncovers injustice, resilience, and the fight for truth. Because stories like these, they deserve to be told. 16-year-old Jaylen Morris was the kind of kid every teacher remembered. Not because he was loud, but because he was quiet, hardworking, and never seemed to cause trouble. He dreamed of becoming a geneticist. His walls were plastered with science posters, and his desk stacked with notebooks filled with equations and DNA sketches. But on a cloudy afternoon in Brookfield, Georgia, Jaylen's life turned upside down. A convenience store was robbed. The suspect? A tall black teen in a hoodie. That vague description was all it took. Within hours, Officer Randall Briggs, a decorated but notoriously harsh cop, had Jaylen pinned against a police car. "Got you now, punk," Briggs sneered. Jaylen's eyes widened. "I didn't do anything. I was at school. Ask my teacher." But Briggs didn't listen. In his mind, Jaylen fit the description perfectly. The whole neighborhood watched as Jaylen, the quiet science nerd, was dragged into a squad car in handcuffs. Mothers shook their heads. Kids whispered. His mother, Tanya Morris, ran barefoot from her house screaming, "You got the wrong boy. That's my son. He wouldn't even steal a pencil." But Briggs was cold. "Tell it to the judge." The humiliation was unbearable. Jaylen spent 2 nights in juvenile detention, surrounded by kids who actually had records. He sat silently in the corner, his hands trembling. His friends didn't believe him. Social media exploded with comments. Knew he was shady. Science nerd? Yeah, right. He's been faking it. Black kids always get into trouble sooner or later. The Morris family was drowning. Tanya's job as a nurse was in jeopardy because she missed shifts to attend hearings. Bills piled up. Jaylen's little sister Amara cried every night, terrified her brother wouldn't come home. Meanwhile, Officer Briggs smirked in court, presenting shaky witness statements. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said, "this boy is no victim. He's a criminal." And the worst part? People believed him. But Jaylen refused to let lies define him. When the prosecution claimed his DNA was likely at the crime scene, Jaylen felt his blood boil. DNA? That was his field, his passion. He knew the science. "Mom," he whispered, "they're lying about the DNA. If they let me see the evidence, I can prove it." Tanya believed in her son. Against all odds, she found a lawyer, Malcolm Green, a tired but fiery defender of civil rights cases. Most called him washed up, but Tanya begged him to fight. At first, Malcolm was hesitant. Cases like this, they don't end well. But when he met Jaylen, saw the fire in his eyes, he said, "All right, kid, let's show them who you really are." Weeks passed. Every hearing was torture. Officer Briggs smirked, the judge sighed impatiently, and the prosecutor painted Jaylen as a menace. But then the break came. Malcolm demanded an independent DNA test. It was rare, expensive, and the court tried to block it, but Tanya rallied the community. Churches held fundraisers. Strangers donated online. Justice for Jaylen became a movement. Finally, the DNA results came back. Not only did the evidence show that the DNA at the crime scene did not match Jaylen, it revealed something even darker. The sample belonged to Officer Randall Briggs' nephew, a young man with a hidden record of petty crimes. When Malcolm dropped the report in court, the room fell silent. Briggs' face drained of color. Jaylen sat taller for the first time in weeks. The judge leaned forward. "Are you telling me the officer's own family member may be the real suspect?" The media exploded. Headlines flooded. Teen wrongly accused. DNA points to cop's nephew. Justice for Jaylen. Officer Briggs under investigation. Briggs tried to save himself, yelling that the test was rigged. But for once, nobody believed him. The charges against Jaylen were dropped. Tanya wept in relief, hugging her son so tightly he could barely breathe. The courtroom erupted in cheers from neighbors who had come to support them. Jaylen finally spoke, his voice steady and strong. "You call me a criminal. But science proved the truth. You can't bury the facts. And you can't bury me. It felt like justice. Briggs was suspended. Jaylen walked free. For the first time in weeks, he slept peacefully. But the story didn't end there. Late one night, Tanya noticed a black SUV idling outside their house. Their phone began ringing with blocked calls. Jaylen's school locker was vandalized with the words, "Snitch." And then, a letter arrived with no return address. Inside was a single line, "This isn't over." The screen fades to black. Part 2 coming soon.